What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're of course here with the KIZUNA clash with Tony Chopper. It's kind of cool though, because we had obviously a lot of other information that was revealed today on Twitter regarding the brand new V2 Oden and the dual unit Kinemon and Denjiro, and that batch is going to be arriving very soon here on Global. So we're super excited for that, but we have to contain ourselves because we do have the KIZUNA clash that is live today. So in this video, I'll show you guys a set of free-to-play teams and also a set of just the teams that I've couple teams that I've built right now. The teams that I will show you that are like the ones that have like rare recruits and legends on them, those teams particularly right now, I'm not too sure if I'm going to continue to use them. I definitely will be altering those as the KIZUNA progresses, so I might bring you guys another video later on where we kind of shift the teams up a little bit. But let's actually talk about this KIZUNA clash in its entirety. If we go over to the KIZUNA exchange, I haven't spent a single ticket yet, but we can see that the first box has nothing special. Second box is where you start getting these skulls for Doflamingo. Very, very important that you get that super evolution for Dofi, because I think it's a really good super evolution. Makes him very usable, and I would probably suggest having that for sure. And as of course you can get the limit break material for the brand new Chopper as well, and that continues on. Box 6, nothing special there, and then box 7, we'd have 5 of each tablet with 1,000 items, and it looks like they haven't added the newer-ish tablets to the KIZUNA yet, which is kind of a shame because they added those new tablets to the treasure map exchange, so I was kind of hoping maybe they might have added it to the KIZUNA here, but unfortunately not yet. Okay, so before we jump into the actual breakdown of all of these teams here, let's actually talk about what this KIZUNA Chopper actually does. Like, what does the unit do? The unit that we're all farming for, who is a Dex, Fighter, Cerebral, Captain effect, 3.5 attack to Fighter and Cerebral, and heals 3,000 health at the end of the turn. Not awful for a free-to-play Captain, and a special ability with multi-stage. We'll have a look at stage 2 though. 40 times his recovery is healed, and it does overheal. I like that they're providing more overheal specials now. It's very useful. He completely removes any form of poison, and he also reduces the crew's bind, paralysis, and attack down by 5 turns. Very good free-to-play utility there. And then also provides color affinity to Dex and Cerebral by 1.75 times for 1 turn. I'm not too sure what it maxes out at because of course I haven't even completely maxed it out yet, but that's actually a very good special ability. Not awful at all. He also completely resists special bind and special reverse by 2 turns. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's not the best. It's definitely not the worst though. And he also has pinch heal, which is nothing special, slot bind by 5, and his support attaches to Dogstorm, Wanda, Sicilian, Cat Viper, Pedro, Carrot, Rhodey, Bibi, Miyagi, Tristan, and Milky. So this is good. It's just adding a support to these new characters that have released recently, and it says that once per quest, if you're inflicted with poison, remove it. That's great. More poison removers. We love to see it. That is actually really, really good. So really nice support effect there. But unfortunately, this character isn't that good in Rumble. It's more of a recovery-based character, which these characters aren't super useful, unfortunately, in PvP. But either way, that's the brand new KIZUNA Chopper. Relatively good support in terms of usability and content, and a great free-to-play utility special that will definitely see play. So that's the breakdown of Chopper in the event. So without further ado, let's go ahead and run free-to-play and my personal team so far up against this upcoming KIZUNA clash. Alright, jumping into the video today, we're going to be starting things off with the free-to-play teams. Of course, you can go down below in the video timeline or in the video description to skip to certain teams you guys want to go ahead and have a look at here today. So, of course, the information's on the side of the video here, and interestingly enough, in this event, they decided to show us the information when you went to the tips menu in-game, but it literally does not say how many turns of each gimmick are inflicted to your crew. I have absolutely no reason why, but we had to do some investigation to ensure that we actually knew what the hell was going on in this event. So either way, first thing here versus the quick fight is you have to deal with 2 turns of special reverse and a 1-hit good special lock that is going to be inflicted to your characters. Luckily, if you have a character that has an ability to get around special reverse and characters that can provide cooldown to your crew, like in this instance here with this free-to-play Garb that came out during New Year's, you are able to get around that. And the thing is because of that lock barrier thing, it means that if you pass a turn, cooldown is not inflicted to your character, meaning that, you know, the preemptive attack every time you move into a new stage, you're not getting cooldown. So you definitely need a character to resist special reverse and then give you special special cooldown. Very important. But as for what Chopper does, a lot of these bosses here actually are pretty mundane, but they do like really annoying things. So with Chopper, it's 5 turns of special bind to your left side, and then full board of badly matching slots. However, after level 30, he does increase that special bind. I'm assuming it's 6 turns, because that's typically what happens in a KIZUNA. And he also has a random amount of Rainbow Shield. So it's likely 1 to 2 turns of Rainbow Shield, it would be my guess, that you have to deal with after level 30. Moving on now to the second free-to-play team, this is going to be a quick-based team that can take on the strength variation of this KIZUNA, and this is really annoying actually, because for the strength and the dex variation of these boss fights, there's just a pesky debuff that you have to deal with on stage 2, and in this instance here versus strength, and you've got Carrot as the mini-boss on stage 2, she's very annoying because she actually inflicts 8 turns of despair to your crew. And it's just that annoying number because you can't really run... I mean, you can just run a full team of supports if you have the way to facilitate that. But in a lot of cases, you literally will need a special to remove despair on your crew directly for this stage, and I really hate that. They've built in such a way where you pretty much need to bring a special, because I mean you can get around it with supports, but the amount of supports you actually require, especially for free to play, is very difficult to get around, so having a special to remove that is useful. And then the final stage, Chopper, once again, he has only like not really much going on. He has resilience buff, it's a 5-turn resilience, and it gives you block slots, but the thing is, after level 30 it likely will be buffed up to a 6-turn resilience, and then also he has a random amount of defense up, likely 1 or 2 turns. But the really good thing about this fight, and why this is the easiest variation, is the fact that Chopper does not have a full immunity. He has delay immunity and he has poison immunity, meaning that you can inflict increased damage taken via, you know, Yamato or Kaido, something like that. But you can also apply defense down conditional boost. So those two things make this fight a lot easier. You can last a lot longer in this quest because you can have so many random conditional and additional buffs that will make your damage output way higher. And then we're going to go ahead and have a look at the last free-to-play team versus the Dex variation. Now this is probably the easiest one to build for because there's no real condition here. As long as you run Strength, Dex, or Quick characters, they're going to be receiving their cooldown. So of course, because it's a Dex boss, you predominantly want to run Strength units. However, once again, there's a mini-boss on stage 2 that is a Quick unit. So even though you bring a full team of Strength units to take on the Dex boss, you got to deal with a Quick boss prior too, so it's pretty annoying. But you know, Wanda, she has around 2 million health. I don't know if that's the exact value, it's just an approximate value that I kind of calculated. It should be around 2 to 2.5 million. And then the preemptive has 5 turns of paralysis, and again, it's a really annoying number because you can't really run a lot of supports, especially for free to play, to just get around 5 turns of paralysis. So you probably will have to run some type of special to remove the 5 turns of that paralysis. And then on the final boss stage versus Chopper, once again, as we said, he is a Dex unit, but he actually inflicts 5 turns of attack down and 8 turns of bind to your right side of your crew. Now that's a really annoying number because after the sockets go down, it'll be 5 turns of attack down and then 5 turns of bind. But after level 30, it's going to be buffed so that the attack down and the bind, it's going to be likely an additional turn. So it'll be 6 turns of attack down, 9 turns of bind. It goes down to 6 turns of bind with sockets. And also the boss after level 30 does also give you, or give the enemy at least, a damage threshold effect. So it's likely, as I said, you know, 1 to 2 turns. It might be higher than that. We're not really too sure at this current point in time as of me recording this video. But do keep in mind that having a way to remove damage threshold will be key after level 30 a little bit later on in this KIZUNA clash. Now we're going ahead and having a look at a little bit more, non-free-to-play team, a little bit non-accessible teams, I guess you could say. This one here is going to be a Dex-based team to take on this brand new quick boss, and this is a team I'm definitely going to be altering at this point though, but using Dog and Cat both as the two captains, so we can use a super type and we can use super class, is going to be very good. As I said though, definitely going to change some things around because the team is not very synergetic, but it definitely is okay, I suppose. And the really good thing about using Cat Dog as the captains, at least one of them as the captain, is that after level 30, when the enemy provides himself a Rainbow Shield buff, the thing is with Cat Dog as the captains, you can completely ignore it. And also because if you have one of them as a sub, you can use one of their specials to get around the special reverse mechanic, so it just makes it a lot easier. Or you can use both Rare Recruits. Both Rare Recruits would also work because you can deal with the special reverse and then use both their specials and stuff. So it makes sense. You can just basically use the whole new Rare Recruit batch that arrived in late January. And in terms of this team, we've got color affinity and all those effects coming in from Sanji and Pudding. We've got Vivi Rebecca for their switch effect and also for the fact that they can give us 6 turns of special bind removal, so post level 30 don't have to really worry about special bind, but it's not super amazing, I suppose. And also Wano Law, I completely forgot that he actually won't give us the chain boundary effect because none of our captains are Free Spirit, Cerebral, Powerhouse or Driven, so Wano Law is definitely going to get the boot, and we'll be running something else for this quest. But I mean, it's a team that's going to work a decent amount of time for now, but I definitely want to change things up here. Moving on now to the quick team versus the strength boss, and this is a team that does a lot of damage. This team hits really, really hard, and that's really due to the fact that we can get access to the defense down conditioner boost via Onami, and also the increased damage taken and Wano slots from Yamato. So those two things are very, very nice to have. And then we can use the special ability of Sabo and Ace to get around the despair that we get inflicted with on stage 2, so we don't really have to worry about any support or any despair removing effect, because the thing with Sabo and Ace is because we have a Luffy character on our team, the orb boost that we get from them actually lasts for 3 turns rather than the normal 1 turn, which means that the orb boost to Free Spirit and shooter characters will last for an extended period of time. Now Onami here obviously doesn't get that orb boost, but the Luffys, the Yamato and the Brook all will be getting that buff, so it does do a lot of damage because we have the massive attack boost from Luffy, and we also have the increased damage taken, we have the orb boost, we have color affinity and conditional boost, both with Onami, which is why I wanted to run her because she's just amazing for this team. And I'm not too sure if I'm going to change this at the moment, because at the moment it does do a serious amount of damage, but we may change things up as things progresses, especially if we have some type of way to get around that resilience, because that's the most annoying thing on this fight is that resilience. So that is going to be annoying. And the thing is the enemy does get defense up after level 30, but Onami will kind of just remove that for us, which is a really, really big deal. And then we move on to the final team, which is the Oden team, the strength team versus the Dex boss. Now this is definitely a team I am going to change because it really didn't do as much damage as I was expecting, because it's not like the best team ever. It basically just runs a bunch of KIZUNA units on the bottom just to get around like utility stuff, but realistically we kind of don't need to do that. We can definitely replace some of these units that normally would provide good utility with just more damage, because as long as Oden is that big damage dealer, the rest really doesn't matter. So probably adding a really high chain locker might be a really good addition to this team, and then maybe replacing Bon Clay with a better color affinity booster is probably going to be the way that I'm going to alter this team. But the way that I deal with stage 2 with Wanda, obviously she's really annoying, but we have a bunch of effects to grant a lot of boosts for this stage, so I'm not really too worried about that. But Toki granting the effects to both Oden characters, and then using the super type on the final boss stage to give them guaranteed Wano slots, even though we have them here anyway, but also the 1000 base attack boost, they just hit incredibly hard on the boss stage, so just making sure that we further that damage is going to be the goal for this particular team. But with all that being said, that is going going to conclude this One Piece Treasure Cruise video. I really hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and if you guys did, make sure you go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.
Ore wa kono doushiou mo ne kuzu do mono o ni naru koto ni shita.